nós soubemos ontem que depois lá em Penafiel, que está lá com umas restrições de trânsito, mas vai estar connosco, vai ter connosco lá uma pessoa de Penafiel, mesmo da Câmara Municipal.
Mas vocês vão a Penafiel também?
Depois vamos almoçar a Penafiel. Vamos almoçar ao centro de Penafiel. E depois de Penafiel é direto para o Porto. Depois aí vai ser muito...
By Travellab, we refer to learning by traveling. That's a quick version to put it. It's an interactive component of our large project meetings where some 40 to 50 people meet and learn about local cases in an active way. And it starts with going out to the field and seeing the actual forest. So we see forests that have been managed by different approaches, and when we see what is the outcome, it normally leads to a lot of discussion about silviculture, options, about mistakes, possibilities for better management.
So we have here 200 cubic meters. Without exploration, we pay here for more or less 35 euros per cubic meter. You know, so it's a good balance. It's a good business for forests, of course. That is the main problem that we have here, because this is, we are speaking about forests, and sometimes because this don't have any how can I say, support by the government.
It's not financed.
It's not financed. The agriculture, we have finance, it's different names, different numbers. But here it's direct. So this is more or less like this. Yes.
It may follow up, so it sounds like it's quite high rate of return. I don't know, but it's 10% and maybe even more from this kind of management, and that must be very profitable also for private owners. Could you explain why they don't manage the
Yes, that is the main problem that we have, because that's the scale, the management scale. I think this is a major problem that we have here, because we have here 2.9 hectares. Of course, we have nearby 3,000 hectares. We don't have our own machinery. We contract all. So to contract the contractors, it's difficult if you only have 1,000 meters, you know, quadratic meters, stuff like that. It's very difficult. So you don't do anything, because 2,000 hectares, it's when you have some dimension. If you cannot bring a bulldozer here to do, you know, so it's very difficult to do the right thing. So this is in Vale do Sousa a major problem that we have here, of course. It's the scale.
The forest management scientists, they are rather conservative, and they have been working with the same approaches for 100 years or so. And what we are facing now is that the environment is changing. The environment from a climate point of view, from a carbon point of view, but also the globalization, the market situation is changing, and the society is changing. And in order to understand the specific conditions you have to go out and see it. It's not enough but to just read scientific reports. And you also have to have a debate with the stakeholders, but also with the scientists who are working on those areas in different places.
To plant some quercus underneath the pinus strata. Yes, yes. We are managing here in Portugal around 9,000 hectares, 50 million euros assets, timberland assets. And the first fund, as I told you, Portuguese state invested around 46% of the fund, and redistributes the yield to the private investors to get a minimum hurdle rate of 6% IRR real at the end of year 10. The fund is now 11 years old, so it's in the second maturity, and it was a fund designed for small areas in central and northern Portugal. This is a combat zone. It's a hotspot for fire ignitions. So typically during summer, we can have 3, 4, 5 ignitions around this area.
Você tirou quanto?
A última vez,
A última vez.
Tirei 1800 toneladas.
Certo. E isto é uma área de...
6 hectares, 60 mil metros. Ora, 3 vezes 6, 18, 300, mais ou menos 300 por hectare.
Isso é muito? É muito.
Não.
Oh, that's quite high. 300 tons per hectare. Yeah.
The plantation site seems to be very productive. What is the expected annual increment here?
Ok. Oh yeah, so o último vendeu com que idade?
Com 8 anos.
Com 8 anos.
O que foi plantado em 97, foi plantado 8 anos, 9 anos.
Over
2006.
over 20 cubic meters hectare year.
Over 20 cubic meters per year. Hectare year.
Hectare year.
Yeah.
Because you take the market into account, if prices are up or down, to decide on a particular year to
Okay.
sell it.
Você tem noção se os preços em cada ano influenciam a sua decisão de vender?
Sim.
É?
Sim, por exemplo, agora estão baixos.
Ok.
Por isso é que também não decidia manter isto assim.
Okay. Yeah. It takes into account the fluctuation of the prices. This year the prices are not so good, so he's not going to sell this year. He will sell next year.
Claro que se espera-se uma boa oportunidade. Claro.
Okay. Yeah. He waits for the best opportunity.
How does he know the market prices? The prices in the market?
Como é que você sabe qual é que é o preço que está a praticar agora?
Sei pelo preço, porque a gente anda por aí e vem a falar.
Conversas.
Pois, conversa.
It's just talking to your neighbors.
E sabes o preço da fábricas. Sabes o preço da fábrica.
And you know the fabric, the price at the gate of the industry. So you are all having parallel conversations, and I don't like it.
Timber and 80% pulp.
Pinho,
Yeah.
João Pinho. Thank you. Questions?
We
This
had a
way,
local
please.
discussion about the world market.
The owners of a forest, they are also conservative. And normally they are thinking from the forest ownership point of view, but that is not how the real world is functioning. It is that the outside world is deciding the way the forest owner can operate. And you have to find a way of how you adjust your management so you can make the best out with those conditions. On the other side, the scientists are always making models, and that is simplifications of a real life. And very often there are issues out in the daily life or in the reality which the scientists are not taking into account.
So now the industry, the policy makers, whoever.
When the scientists are learning something from the stakeholders in the round table, the Travellab is making sense when the stakeholders are learning something from the meeting with the scientists. And Travellab is making sense when you are able to say this is influencing the policy making.